Hi guys and welcome back. Today is the day. Today we will discover if the ETF will finally be approved. But there is a problem, guys. We are in front of what could be a double or even a triple trap. Something that can, even if you have a right strategy, can affect your gains. What we'll discuss together in this video is how and if it is possible to get out and be profitable out of this trap. Specifically, I identified two different scenarios during this year, two different situations when we had high volatility, and there is a pattern. That second thing that we will do together is understanding which are the metrics, because something is changing into the metrics, not the one that are visible. It's not something that is visible directly into the chart, but something that is hidden, but could be pretty interesting in order to improve our strategy. Third thing is about, is it still possible to use Polymarket to be profitable? That's something we're discussing in one of my previous videos. If you missed the one, I will leave also the link in the right corner here. But something has changed, and we'll discuss about that. Final thing, I will also share, which is my personal thought about the possible scenario for this event. So stay tuned, because this video, if you're interested into ETF Bitcoin, is absolutely something you don't have to miss. Okay, guys, just before to start, let me say that this channel is about educational content and nothing has to be intended as financial advice. If you want to invest in anything, that's super cool, but do always your own research before. Guys, remember, right now it is the moment to be safe, not over leverage, and to be ready for any kind of scenario. Do your own research and expand your point of view, because this is what will save you and will make you money. And guys, don't forget to check it out, all our links into the description below, and to leave us a big thumbs up and drop a comment to the comment section below. Let me know, what do you think about the ETF? Will be approved today? It will be just a sell on news, or it will be something that will pump the price and will happen just right now immediately? What is your idea? Let me know it into the comment section below. And also, if you do that, you will also help me with the algorithm of YouTube. That's something that is a small effort for you, but really means a lot to me. Okay, guys, so let's start immediately, and let's share with you the two situations this year that I found that could be something similar to what we will see today. And I want to start with the first case, 14th of March 23. So last year in March, and it was everything about CPI. As you can check it out from invested.com CPA data, you will see that the 14th of March, this is the line, the announcement came out, and it was a positive announcement, because finally it was confirming that the CPI was finally going down in a way that was much faster than what we could expect a couple of months ago. Unfortunately, what happened to the price is that it has gone up, and as you can see, this is the candle over here, has gone up by 7% around, but in not even a couple of hours has gone from this level all the way down to here, that as you can see is about 10% lower. But in a couple of days after, it has gone up again by 20%. As you can see, 20%. So we have seen +7, -10, +20. This is the kind of pattern that could happen even today, because the point is that there is a lot of uncertainty about, and a lot of volatility is expected. And this is a scenario, and we were just talking about CPI, so nothing so dramatic, nothing so important like an ETF that will happen, hopefully, today. And just to understand also which is the kind of time frame that took to play the whole scenario, it was from here to here, it was about 5 days and 20 hours. You can consider also a higher high right here, but it doesn't change much. So you can do 5 days, 8 days, doesn't change. The whole point is that we had a big pump, a big dump, another big pump. If we check it out also, what happened the 12th of March, this is something that is even a little bit more weird, because the point is that in that moment, as you can see here, we had a CPI that was keep going down with an actual value that is even much better than the forecasted one. But even so, what we have seen into the chart was a first reaction that was positive. As you can see, this is the candle. So we have gone up by 1.57%, and we just touched the resistance above. And in that moment, we had a big correction that has gone down by 3%, all the way down to the support around 29K. But not even a couple of hours after, we started to grow again, because as you can see, from this point here to this peak here is just 5% in around a couple of hours. Because if we check it out here to here, it is about not even 2 days, so not even 48 hours. Now, I don't want you to focus on the single number. So it's not important if it is about 1%, 2%, 5% up, it doesn't matter. It is important to understand that in the past, even with events that were much less important in ETF, we have seen a big pump tail liquidity upside, correction, finding support, and restarting. Obviously, nobody is telling us it will happen in the same way, but we have to be aware of what happened in the past and trying to learn. So be aware that this is a possible scenario that maybe will play out again. Now, I want to show you another thing. It's about metrics that not so many people are talking about, and I'm talking about the open interest. And look at here. For example, one thing that we can notice is that if we go around the 12th of April, the total open interest was already about 10 billion. And that's interesting because from that time to today, the price of Bitcoin has gone up 50%. So it means if the same amount of Bitcoins is still open right now, we would have like a 50% higher open interest. The reality is that the open interest is not so higher. It's about 15% just higher. This is something that's pretty interesting because it is showing us a lot of uncertainty. And if we go even deeper into the numbers and we check what's going on right now, so literally short term, you will see that, for example, just a couple of days ago, we are talking about the 3rd of January, the open interest was higher. So it was about 12 billion, 12 point something, while right now it is about 11, even if the price is higher at that time. This is suggesting us that there is a lot of uncertainty and a lot of fear into the market right now. And this is something that can bring spike like this up and down. Why? Because in the moment when a news come out, in that moment, many people maybe they didn't have a position they will open, causing a spike up, but maybe also with a stop loss and so on. Maybe they are over leveraged and so on, and they will be liquidated just by the counter movement. So this situation is showing us that there is literally no clear answer if it will be a sell news or a big pump. Personally speaking, as I will tell you better at the end of this video, I don't think it will be a full sell news. I think, yes, it's possible to have a high volatility, but the positive impact will count. The point is how long it will take to come out. Once that we have understood that the indicator about the open interest is showing us a lot of uncertainty, I want to show you also the data about Polymarket, because they are showing us another interesting thing. As you can see, we had this big spike down, another big spike up. So two big fat fingers that were buying and selling and just trying to take a position at a price that is not so convenient. So I don't understand what they are doing really. But the interesting part is that going back to what I was telling you, one of my previous videos, I was telling you that it is possible to build a strategy in order to be profitable, no matter which is the ETF outcome. The point is that right now the situation has changed. Why? Simply because if we take the chart of Bitcoin, in the moment when we were talking about that strategy, we were around this price here or even lower. So it was about 7% lower. And there is a big difference because if we start just from 40, 42K, 43K, there is still a lot of upside to reach, for example, 48K. Another story, if we start directly from 46, 48 already, there's a big difference. And the difference is also because many people already took position from a short point of view all along this upper area. As you can see in this area from here to here, many people open new positions. So it means that they are already positioned right now. That's a big difference. One story is if they are just starting to take position, another story if they are like this. So in my opinion, right now, it's not so convenient to take any position on a Polymarket. What I would do if I would have an open position, it was simply closing it, because to me it's not worth it anymore. Obviously, it's just my personal taste. Feel free to do whatever you think it's more right, but be aware that right now we are really high in terms of price. Speculate that the price of Bitcoin will go higher just because ETF will be approved. Well, it's not so certain, because it is possible to take a liquidity on the downside, and it could even happen going even below this level. Guys, this is the biggest problem, because one story if your stop loss is just like a couple of points percentage from where you are opening a position. Another story if like here, the stop loss is something like 11%, 12% far away from your position. And to be fair, in order to be safe, you should put it out like here. It is like 18%, so it is completely inefficient as a position, because maybe the price will never pump again, or better, will never pump again into the short term. So as you can understand, right now, taking position and using, for example, Polymarket to defend yourself is a little bit more tricky, and that's the power of whales, that they are manipulating the market in order to overcomplicate the situation, and we have just to accept it and be ready for the scenario. Okay, this is the current situation. Now, let me share what I think about this situation and how I will behave. So first of all, we have seen that it is possible to see a lot of volatility. Volatility could be even just 10% in a couple of minutes. I believe that it is probable that in the moment when the news will come out, we can have something, a couple of minutes of a pump, exactly as it happened, as you can see, in the moment when the fake news came out. A plus 3% in just not even 5 minutes. And after that, we had a dump about 7% in another 5 to 10 minutes. So this kind of volatility, that's something that can happen again. What is the counterparty? Is that we have already seen the pattern, so nothing will ensure us that it will happen the same, because maybe whales can think, okay, we already shown the strategy, so maybe it's time to do something else. So as you can see, it is pretty volatile. What I think is that whatever will be the price action in the immediate minutes after the approval, well, the kind of effect, the real effect, is something that we will be seeing just in a couple of days at least. Because the point is that we have to close above this level, is about 48. Only in that moment, if we close above, we can think about a possible movement that can be extended, reaching 52 and maybe higher in the next couple of weeks. Otherwise, it is possible to see a correction, consolidation, maybe even just hours or days, and after that, a big pump. Personally speaking, I will try to follow the price action in the first minutes, in the first hours, to see if it is offering an entry point. Another idea could be simply opting on spot, so no leverage. In that case, it could be much more less risky, at least. On the other side, also the upside is much lower. A third solution is that don't do anything, wait, see which is the trend the price will take for the next couple of weeks, and in that moment, take action. We have also to consider what will happen with the dominance of Bitcoin, because as you can see, we will reach the level of 55, and it could be that this is the top and it will go through a correction, because at the same time also ETH BTC, it is bleeding and is close to a bottom, hopefully. But on the other side, nothing prevents us to see another couple of weeks of upside, reaching even 57 or higher, and only then starting to correct. I believe that there is still space for an alt season, and that is the moment I want to take, because I think that alt season, even it will, I think it will be pretty short, because again, guys, we have to be honest. We have gone up by 50% just in a couple of months. That's too much. We need a correction. That's a healthy correction. I think that there is space for another app, but it's just my thinking. And my goal is to take advantage of that short season that will be happening. Because right now, taking position on Bitcoin is something, yes, that we can try, but as you saw, it is pretty risky. I think that the alt season, if it will come, it will be the most profitable moment. And on the other side, after the correction, that will be the moment to take position on Bitcoin, Ethereum too, in order to take advantage of this situation. Guys, stay safe. Check it out if the price will close, a daily close at least, above the previous high. And if it will happen, well, that's a pretty bullish signal that maybe could be the start for another couple of days, couple of weeks, or upside in on Bitcoin. And maybe it can also give us an entry point to be profitable also on it. Let me know in the comment section, what do you think about the current situation? Let me know downside and leave us a big thumbs up, and I will see you soon into the next video. Bye, guys.